Hiya and welcome on in. My name's Stephanie, and today I'm going to be talking about something that's like sort of on everybody's radar right now, but not really in the way that I'm going to be talking about it. I'm going to be talking about taking breaks, specifically from streaming, but this video will apply pretty much to any job. So let's get into it. Okay, so for like those of you who don't know, I recently went on a break and I loved it. I had a really nice break from streaming, and I thought it was really helpful. I frequently hear from people though that their breaks are not helpful. You know, I've got like people with like millions of subscribers on YouTube who are like DMing me and we're just chatting about like streaming and content creation, and they're like, I just don't feel good. And they keep trying to take breaks and it's just not productive or helpful. And so I just kind of want to give some insight into what I found helpful when, one, deciding whether to take a break, and two, deciding what to do with my break. So that's kind of what this video is going to be. It's free form, I have no script, I'm just chatting. So first and foremost, there's nothing wrong with taking a break from streaming or content creation. I know there's like this massive push mentality when it comes to content creation, but there's nothing wrong with taking a break from a job. Please don't, we always say like, oh, other people shouldn't burn themselves out. So please do take your own advice to other people and be kind and considerate to yourself if you feel like taking a break. There's nothing morally wrong with it. Something to consider before taking a break, of course, is whether content creation is your sole source of income. For me, content creation is not my main source of income. If it's yours, something you might think about doing if you're worried about losing subs or anything like that during your break is doing a pre-break subathon. I know it sounds kind of counterproductive that anyone would want to support you financially as you take a break, but most people are honestly very much in support of content creators taking breaks. And so if you can find a way to make it fun for people to support you taking a break, that will ease a lot of the stress you may have during your actual break. So how you would know whether you are like ready and primed for a break is whether you feel good creating content. There's always stress around content creation. Like there's the stress of whether you're gonna have new viewers, comparing yourself to other people. The list goes on and on. But if that's not motivating and energizing you and is instead draining you and making you feel not good in other areas of your life, it's definitely time to take a break. And you can take as many breaks as you want. I know that there's this big mentality that you should be grinding and pushing to always be like achieving the next step in streamerdom. Most people don't become famous doing this. Most people don't become rich. I certainly have not. I've sunk a lot of money into this hobby. And if someone were to be like, you can't take a break because I said so and it's not cool of you to take a break, I would probably like punch them in the face. No, I would just like, you shouldn't tell yourself those things, because if someone else told you that, you would be like, oh, that's kind of stupid. So if you're holding yourself back from taking a break just because you feel like XYZ thing, try saying it out loud and pretending another person is saying it to you, and see whether your reasons are legitimate, like financial concerns, or ridiculous, like the need to appear awesome and cool to people who, it really doesn't matter what they think of you. One thing I found that was really helpful during my time off was the set idea in my mind that I would not be tweeting or sharing anything that was like my original content. Like there were lots of things I retweeted on Twitter and stuff because I'm addicted to social media. I will be honest, I love it. But I committed to not posting anything myself, and I really like, sometimes I would have the tweet ready to send and I would be like, no, I'm not going to do that, because that would be violating this boundary I have for myself on my break. And it's such a simple thing, but in just like mentally creating a barrier between you and your normal content creation, it can go a really long way. It can feel really nice. Another thing that I just want to touch on is like, it's okay while you're on a break to have thoughts and feelings that are like, maybe I don't really want to stream anymore. Like, I think that's such a scary thing as a content creator to think, because it's truly like, maybe I want to give up this hobby. You know, I'm enjoying my break. There's kind of this guilt that comes with it. And I just really, for me, had to sink back into this is a job. Like, this is something I pick up, yes, as a hobby, but it is also very much a job. It has like responsibilities. There are people who need things. It's not wrong for me to consider that effort and to think like, do I want to put in that effort? And removing that sort of like guilt and shame around like enjoying my time away from streaming was really important for me. And I know, you might hear that and you might say, oh, that means Stephanie's ungrateful for her position. Oh, she's ungrateful for all these subscribers and stuff. No, that's silly. But it does mean that sometimes the weight of being a content creator, the weight of having people come in and spoil games, having people say nasty things in YouTube comments to me, having to constantly be bombarded with people's thoughts and feelings about the way I look and the way like I respond to things is a lot. And honoring just that simple truth is like, oh, okay, I don't feel bad anymore. It's okay for me not to love every aspect of streaming. It's okay for you not to. And once you give yourself sort of that freedom, your breaks can be a lot more productive and a lot more restorative, as opposed to frantic and anxious. Another common thing streamers seem to struggle with is like when to come back and how to come back. So people start to feel really anxious because they haven't created content in a while. Will people show up? What will happen? They're just not used to those motions. And for me, the thing that really made it kind of easy to start creating content again was putting out a sort of shitty YouTube video where I like took a lot of the pressure off myself because it was unedited, it was on my webcam, and it was just like, hey, here's why I took a break. And to be honest, that relieved so much stress and pressure when it came to me and YouTube, because I think like as content creators, you do get in a mindset of like perfection and doing everything amazing and being the most creative, most original, etc. And if you can break that ice before you come back to streaming fully, oh my, I just twitched. That's wonderful. That's amazing. So I think being comfortable coming back requires you to be comfortable with not being perfect. And I think that sort of comes into the next point of like, how do you know when it's right to come back? Like, how do you know when you're like, I want to come back? For me, I've seen a lot of people come back and then be like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. Oh, that was like too soon to end my break. Now I just feel like even worse. And, I think that sucks. I think it's really, really unfortunate that people kind of push themselves into coming back because there is that guilt and that, like shame associated with failure or the perception of failure in this hobby / part-time job / full-time job / who knows. It's so amorphous. And I'll say like, it's really important to take your time and to come back when you want to, because otherwise the like big ugly things about streaming just become amplified. So rule for taking a break is take the break at the length you need, not the length that you think you should need. For me, I knew it was time to come back because I just wanted to create content again. I had ideas and I was like, oh, I would like to do a video on this. Oh, I would like to, do my makeup. I have time. The things that, made it so that I needed to stop creating content for a little while have kind of calmed down. So it made sense for me and I didn't rush it. And I really hope if you need to take a break, you also don't rush it, because you don't need to. And, in terms of like tangible loss from my break, I've lost Twitter followers, but I think that's mainly because like people followed me for sort of like dumb reasons. I think on social media, you definitely accrue a following based on a lot of different things. So like some people will follow me because they're like, oh, a girl online must follow. And then it's like, oh, this girl has like political thoughts. She's like, got all these ideas and things she's saying and people she's supporting. Ooh. So, you know, I'm sure there's other reasons people unfollow, but I will say that, like, losing 20-ish followers over an almost, like, it wasn't a month, but it was a long time break from Twitch, Twitter, new content for YouTube, and new content for Instagram. Like, that's sort of all I felt, is like 20 or 30 people on Twitter who I didn't interact with. So, like, really, if you've built a solid community, it's not going to fall apart around you just because you're not constantly creating things. So if you're worried about that, you should be okay. Also, like, I always, focus on the self-love reasons to do things. I think those are the best reasons to do things. But if you need a reason to do things that, like, is more content focused, is more like production focused, like, oh, I need to, get followers, I need to be moving forward. I will say that sharing personal, difficult details of your life that other people can commiserate with is good content. It's like, people reached out to me after I did my YouTube video and wanted to connect with me about things. And so, like, that is not the reason I took my break. But if you wanted to, you can definitely create engaging content around your struggle. Like, I know that's kind of fucked up to say, but truly, like, people, for whatever reason, love to, it's wonderful. It's a wonderful thing that people love to support people taking breaks and things. You will often see, like, more people come out to say, I support you, when you say, I'm going through something heavy, versus, like, just like you on a regular day. Like, you can make like 10 tweets in a day and no one will give a shit, and then you say, I'm taking a break, and everyone's like, I want to be there for you. And you can view that through a very ugly lens. You can view that through a very positive lens. I view it through a very neutral lens of just, like, that is a phenomenon I think other people should be aware of. If you're considering not taking a break just because you're afraid of its impact on your content, people like that. People like people taking breaks and being kind to themselves. So, self-love reasons, I 100% support. Content creation reasons, you shouldn't be afraid to try to do that. It does go very well for a lot of people. So, if you feel like you need to take a break, I really encourage you to. I don't think it has very many downsides, and I think it has so freaking many upsides. I think if we were all just, like, a bit kinder to ourselves and took care of ourselves, people love to see it. They really do. And it's just, you can be a kinder person when you've been kind to yourself. So I hope you smile today. This is I'm dumb. I hope you smile today. I hope you have a great day. I hope you take breaks if you need it, because you only have one life and it's yours, and your viewers are not going to force you to take a break. They shouldn't force you to take a break. If they're doing that, you are so, I'm worried about your health. If other people are like, you need to take a break, you take a break. And also, like, if you're working, corporations do not care about us. They do not care about employees. We need to take care of ourselves. So, please do it. And if you liked this video, please like and subscribe. It is my second video, technically, since I've been back sort of from hiatus. And I did make it just because I hope it helps somebody. If it helped you, let me know. I'd be happy to hear it. Again, sorry my hair is super icky. Let's see, yeah, it's real gross on this side especially. But, yeah, bye.